Hey guys, how y'all doing? Hit the like button. I want to come back with a quick video. Um, and because again, I got hate email. These people are so hateful. It's ridiculous. But it made me want to talk about Shay from Late Night Crew, who had to file a lawsuit because his channel was being attacked. He had a well-established channel way before any of this happened, where he just decided to come to Dolton. He came to Dolton. If you guys know who Late Night Crew is, can someone, do I have any mods here? I might not. If I have a mod, can you put Shay channel in the chat? I might not. Sorry, guys. Um, but Shay came to Dolton to help. And he came to, hold on one second, guys. Hold on. Hey, you guys okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I just was checking on you guys. Hey, thanks y'all for being here. Sorry I had to pause it. Thank you, Cynthia, for putting Late Night Crew in the chat. I appreciate you. So, everybody to join. I just want to talk about how Shay went through. He came to Dolton. Okay, he came to Dolton because Dolton asked him to come. Number one, the fans he had here, people were buying his T-shirts. You guys who have not been here for a year or more don't understand how all of Dolton was tuned into Shay from the Late Night Crew. Let me just put him up there. I'm sorry, I don't have him up. Oh, first thing I see is the little baby, little Shay. So I just want to put his channel up here. So with you guys, because I don't even think Shay cares about those videos or care to share them or be down that rabbit hole, but he came to Dolton because people asked him to come to Dolton. And I, who am Burgundy Blue Commentary, did not know Shay at all. But I can tell you, I met Jedediah Brown and Shay from Late Night Crew the same exact day. And that was the April 8th meeting at the village, at the Park District. Okay. So, y'all, I just want to give you a little background. This story about the people getting killed in Las Vegas, when I'm watching the videos of how it escalated to that, it weirds me out because it's exactly what was going on here in Dolton. Channel strikes, attacks, mob mentality, starting hate groups. It's the exact same thing. So Shay came to Dolton because we requested him to come to Dolton. And when he got to Dolton, he brought food. He drove around our neighborhoods. He poured back into the community. He helped people that were in need in Dolton. I watched it with my own eyes. I saw this. Okay. It's still people testimonials of this, and they're kind of scared to say anything because of the mob mentality. And I have to be petty. Shay brought 10 to, I can't remember if it was 10 pieces or 12 pieces. He would never talk to me about this. However, I got there and I see Shay. That's the same day I met Reality Check TV. I met Critical Smoker. I met them the same day. I hadn't been to a board meeting. So, I mean, I've been doing the streaming, but I hadn't been there to check it out. So I get there, meet Shay. Shay's bringing in food and drinks, and I see Stephanie Wiederman take the pizzas to the back room. So in my head, because he said, come on out for pizzas, because this is so important to me, because he couldn't get everyone together for a pizza party, because here in Dolton, everyone wants to know who's coming. You know what I mean? Who's coming? Yeah, are y'all like that too? Where you're like, oh, come on over, J Rock, and you like, who all gonna be there? So it was one of those situations. So he decided since we wouldn't have because he tried to get this pizza party going for like I think 48 hours. So he decided that if we weren't gonna come to the pizza place to sit down and break bread, he would bring the pizza to us, and he did. Okay, and that's important because I have yet seen anybody else do something like that. Um, he donated to so many things here because Dalton wanted him to come. We even saw an elected official wear a late night crew T-shirt to a board meeting. Okay, so this was very serious back then when Shay came to Dalton. You guys don't remember that because everything else has overshadowed that part, right? Left his family, came to Dalton. So when he got to Dalton, this is my take on everything. I wasn't there, but I'll say, Shay, it's kind of weird that the trustees are inviting you here, there, everywhere. Like the trustees were all over Shay. Meet us at this bar, that bar, and the other bar. Okay, and so I was like, Shay, it's weird that I'm a YouTuber in this town and they don't want to talk to me. I just thought it was weird. I said, I think something's weird because I'm probably too close. And they don't want anybody that they cannot manipulate. Like you can't tell someone like me. I saw Trina Downs did a report. Shout out to Trina Downs. She did a report and she said something like, sorry, y'all, my nails hit the she said something like, they had a pool repair in Dalton. What pool? She pulled up the warrant list and it said it was a pool repair. And it was something, if you guys remember the other one, like a smaller pool, a splash pad or something repair. And I was like, huh? Now I lived in Dalton 900 years. Um, the pool been gone since 1980. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean. The pool has not been open since black people been here. Okay. So what pool is not the pool on top of the Dorchester? It's not the Dalton. It can't be the Dalton pool by fire station number 2 because Tiffany was trying to get that open. And Melanie Fitness, y'all want to repair that pool because that's supposed to be the police station. So if the pool was repaired, why none of the people in Dalton could partake in this repaired pool? So I'm saying that to say it's certain things you can't say to a resident that has been here for so long and plus, used to work there where I'm like, wait a minute, which pool is this? Which pool is this? Hey, Gardis, Madeline, everyone I miss. Regina, my love bug. So when I heard Trina report on a pool repair, I think that should be something which I'll be at the next board meeting because I need to have a couple of questions answered because that's weird. It's a pool that's working here in Dalton, and today is 82 degrees. Where's the pool at, you guys? Tell us. So, Shay came here and he started talking. The only reason he got attacked was he was talking to the real people. Y'all that don't like Shay for no reason at all, don't forget when they had the rally for the township, he sent the DJ, he sent media, okay, for free. For free. For free. Shout out to Reality Check TV Chicago, where the next go round, when you see Reality Check TV, he's blocked by the person he did the rally for. They are not fans of Tiffany Henyard. Hold on one second. Let me bring up my guest. Hey, Choose.
Hi, it's Shad. How's everyone doing this early evening?
We're doing good. How are you today?
Oh, I'm fine. It's raining here, but I'm on my Mary J. Blige. Stuff is just those rainy days.
It is. Wait a minute. Do you have your sunglasses and your hair wrapped up? I was your lover and your secretary working every day of the week. Are you looking like that today? Because you got to
I
have the fashion in the rain.
got to show you right. Look, where am I sitting on my porch?
How cute. You have your hoodie on. Your guard. I love that hoodie, the gardening hoodie.
No hair done, just whoop.
You look cute still. That's your color too. Gardening hoodie. Now, I got a bonnet on. I got a
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
this the Bonnet Chronicles because I am really upset, choose about, and you probably hear it in my voice, you guys, about the couple that were killed in Las Vegas and how people are like, oh, how did this happen? And I'm looking like, what you mean? How this happened? What you
That's that's my sentiments exactly. And it's once again, it's funny. I'm gonna come in because it's kind of bad out there with the rain. Um, I've seen plenty of stories like this. I've seen plenty of stories where there's some type of something that's on, whether it's YouTube or Facebook, where you got people bullying people and it ends in a death. And I mean, I'm glad this got attention at this time. I am sorry for all the losses and the just it was totally unnecessary. But when I know, and this is my opinion. It's not a fact. This is my opinion. I know that once I actually read every page of Shay's lawsuit, I understood how it I understood how it stands to set a precedent for everyone, for all creators. This was over copyright infringement. That's what two people lost their lives over. So this is why I've always felt, and again, my opinion, that Shay going through with this lawsuit is not for him. I mean, not just for him. This is for everyone. This in light of this story, this could save some lives. So now we're here. Now it's bigger than, oh my goodness, this can protect you know, the way that you create. This can protect people from, doing these horrible things to you too. This can de-escalate from it, going this far to where people are searching for you or actively going to cause violence. So that's what I think it's even more important now.
Yeah, I think so too because it's he's not doing it just for him. I've seen him many times when he had to do amendments and different filings where he was like, I'm doing this for, if y'all would join me. He would ask other people, join me. I don't know if you remember that because this is not right where they're able to they took down his channel falsely 100%. I have video where a content creator was coming after me and he was looking for my videos, like, and he says on that, we still have that, he says live, Burgundy, where's your stuff at, so he could attack my channel. So it has came down to this. And
Yeah, I actually remember that. I also remember very specifically because I want to be very clear about the level of violence now that we've seen this and we're acting Like, so I don't know if everyone's acting surprised. I just people see that some people have surprise reactions, but when you put in on a social media platform to catch a woman in a dark alley, and Dalton politics, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I forgot about that. Yeah. Oh, Dalton politics, y'all not off the hook. You're not off the hook. Don't think so. Like that stuff that y'all be putting out there, and this is Burgundy saying this. Darkest, you. I'm saying I don't understand what your problem is with me. And I'm saying this myself. This has nothing to do with choose compassion. But all the attacks you launched on me over the last year is uncalled for. And you don't even know me. The things that you got, the things that you guys are doing now, cheering on when y'all thought conscious channel was gone. Are y'all fighting for the residents, or are you just mean and evil spirited? What is the issue?
Definitely not fighting for the residents because you are a resident. So by saying things like catch, basically, let's redact the name. Catch a resident in a dark alley. Catch a resident of Dolton alley. What level? Now, you see, sociopaths, they don't care about people. Psychopaths, they don't care about human life. And that post was very much psychopathic. You have no care about human life. And for whoever people to cheer that on, including Mary Avance, that's crazy. I'm sorry, it's not crazy. It's literally the definition of a psychopath. Someone who has no regard for human life. Darkest Williams.
And it's horrible to see that, I have loved ones that are involved in my life that you guys saw. I had to mute because my phone will ring all night because my cousins and everyone, they just call all day. But you guys ruined a part in my life when I was going through a hard time with loss in my life, and you guys sought out to ruin me. Like I was a campaign manager for like Hitler or something. It was crazy. And don't think it don't go unnoticed that how many moderators do Dalton Politics have? 9? Is it 9? Somebody let me know how many moderators Dalton Politics has.
I personally do not know the answer to that question because I look to see who created the group, who's responsible for the group. But yes, also the moderators.
Yeah,
Also,
well,
very much.
they have moderators to take away from to make sure that it's no, because it's supposed to be a politics and making sure that the everything's good, right?
Yeah.
So that when they attacking people like Shay repeatedly day after day, um where's the moderators? They have about, if you guys let me know how many they have currently, let me know how many they have now. If you can, let's say 8. So all y'all too busy to moderate. You look like you need another moderator. You need
Or
somebody that can moderate.
you need someone who understands, what you should and should not say on social media, including, sexually harassing someone, that sort of thing. I've seen that. I've responded to those types. Well, I responded to one comment before I was finally booted out. But no, you don't get to sexually harass people. You don't get to threaten people's lives. That, although that is Burgundy Blue, although that happened to Tiffany, I know that and it's happened to me.
Yeah,
And
it happened to you all the time.
I don't even consider myself to have been harassed at the level that you and Tiffany I'm sorry, former mayor and former supervisor Tiffany Henry. I don't consider myself to be harassed at that level because I shut that shit down. Excuse my language. But it is what it is. I shut that shit down. You want to know who I am, then you really want to know who I am. And it's not a person on welfare, and I don't have to go back and forth with you. I had a conversation with the person, and if they want to, if they want to challenge me, it's fine. Look up the benevolent one in Africa. So that it is what it is. But I've been dragged in a very personal way, and in a different arena, and in the sexual harassment arena, in the sexual abuse arena, in the, dare I say, grape arena.
Mm-hmm.
So I take it very seriously with anybody. Anybody. It doesn't matter who it is, and it doesn't matter who the person is. When I see people on social media perpetuating violence, it there's no excuse for it. It's no, I was just playing. Is you ain't never playing when you talking about violence. Not in this day and age. Not with everything that goes on social media, period. People
Mm-hmm.
go after people just because it doesn't even have to be this. It can be somebody says something you don't like. How many stories are out there where somebody that said something that somebody else didn't like on a Facebook or on a YouTube, and then that person come do and then they not alive no more. Like, we really need to understand what social media is, but most importantly, we all need to look into ourselves. Now, if we have been if we've created a monster in our thoughts, that's where you need to look first. And I try to stay with compassion, but I compassion does not mean that you do not correct people. So I don't want people to get that twisted. Compassion means, for me, I understand that everybody is broken. Everybody in this world, ain't no one human in this world that ain't got some stuff in their life going on. But when you go and you attack people, especially when they're at a low point, like, it broke my heart that, and this, I'm gonna tell you why it broke my heart, that Burgundy Blue, and I'm sorry, Burgundy, if I'm, let me know if I'm overstepping, but when you were saying help me, I know that it wasn't in the sense that you were feeling so vulnerable and all these people were attacking me. When I, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what I think it was. You were a grandmother grieving. You were a grandmother that had gone through so much before your grief. So what I heard was, I'm dealing with enough in my life. I don't need this. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're absolutely right. And when I think back to that time, and when I think back to that time, and because me and you have talked personally, the stuff I was dealing with,
Hmm.
from mom on down, it was just it was just overwhelming because I was confused at that time. Because you have to remember, choose at this time, I'm thinking the good guys, because I think this was you at the time too. You had your good guy team. Let me know if I'm wrong or not, but I had my good guy team, and that was Jason House and them, and Tiffany Bad. Jason House and them, they're gonna fix it. Not, not all the way, because I know that this is just a shell game of politics, 3 card Monty. They just shifting them around here. So I didn't feel like that. But they're calling me, checking on me the whole time. Hey, how you doing? How's the family? Can I bring you something to eat? This is what the politicians are doing the whole time. So I'm like, that is so kind. My mayor never did that. But the trustees are calling, just two, calling to see how I'm doing and offering to bring us something to eat and coming by the house or the hospital or whatever. This is awesome. They care about the community. And then when I sat down, now that I play everything back, I had no idea what was really going on, and the real fight was anybody that don't put a clean house tattoo on their forehead is going to be damned. And that's what happened. So yes, you are absolutely right. Me saying help me was not because somebody was talking about me on the internet. I've been on YouTube 4 years. This has happened. I talk about sister wives. You know how many times I'm attacked talking about sister wives
Okay.
and Gypsy Rose. That Gypsy Rose and struck my channel a couple of times. So it's not that, because that comes with the territory when you're a content creator. However, this Dolton issue where they attack you and people can touch you because I am in Dolton, that was a big issue and hurtful for me. And that's why I was saying, help me. And I was just at the wit's end, because on top of that, you have to think, I got family, I got friends, I got people around that are being attacked as well, just because I'm on YouTube.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that is what makes me the most disheartened and really angry with now Mayor Jason House. One now again, Trustee Edward Steve, who has more venom for Tiffany than he did for the constituents who did not vote him back in. It's that they sat with you, and I knew that, and it took everything in me every time that I came to Dalton not to go up to that podium, not to go knock on the door and ask why they were doing that, not in a violent way, but to really like, why are you doing, why would you not help someone by simply saying, "Hey, chill out. That's our resident. She's going through a lot." So that right there, Mayor Jason House, that's where you lost a lot of respect with not, hey, you ain't gotta worry about me. I don't matter. What matters is your residents, and your residents, your constituents, the what 1,300 that voted out of 20,000 people. That should say something. But out of the 1,300 or however many people, this is how you feel. This how you feel. You just gonna back off whenever it's a problem. That showed me that you were weak. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean what I mean. You can't be a strong mayor that's talking about you're here for the residents and you sit down with someone that is a constituent and then just let her go through that. Edward Steve, how could you? How could you check on her? How could you do that? And then you're the main social media person. So you don't have the manly strength to just say, hey, person, people, this is not what we're about. Back off. Especially Ed Steve. You knew. You the one was also checking on her. Why were you doing that? Were you just trying to make sure? Well, what were you doing? So you're not to be trusted. And I see that that's why you did not get reelected the first time. It's not cool. These are your residents. And you, Jason House, back to you. You stood up at a podium and thanked all of the outsiders. That's all well and good, but that showed me you come from a place of you need to be significant and you need approval. And this is just a behavior profile. This is not talking about you. You can run it through the experts. And that's just not a cool way to be. And I'm sorry because I'm just rambling. And the last thing that I have to say is everybody sitting up in those seats, any of them, why are you there? Because if you're there out of a need, and even if that need is power, money, health insurance, whatever, if you're sitting up there out of a need, you don't need to be sitting up there because that never helps the community. You have to not need anything. You have to want the best without needing anything. The fact that y'all had to get the internet involved lets me know that there are weak people in office right now. Weak people. Obviously, obviously your own residents weren't doing enough for you. So we go to the social media and go ahead and use that fate model. Focus. Focus our attention on Tiffany is bad. Then get people to say how bad she is. Get an authority figure. Listen up to me. This is a fate model. Fate, focus, authority, tribe, and emotion. So now everybody focus on Tiffany Bad. Get yourself somebody in air quotes authority, which was Nikita, to be like, it's what happened and we ate good and y'all still eating good. Anyway, on to tribe. So now you make everybody try to, feel like they fit in and they're a part of it. Like at the tea with the trustees when Steve said, hey, y'all, how many of y'all feel like she talked down to me? And Mary was the only one that raised her hand. And then finally, there's emotion. So you trigger all these emotions that hit people just like it hit me. When Tiffany said, I love you and there's nothing you can do about it, guess what? That was a trigger for me. That's what made me not like her. Ain't that crazy? And it ain't had nothing to do with her. It had something to do with a whole nother leader somewhere else who had kind of the same catchphrase. So y'all did all this. Y'all, it was a weak tactic. It's a weak. It's just all weak, and there's just no excuse for not taking care of your constituents first.
Well said. I want to challenge because we're definitely going to get into because I think we've been through so much. We have so much we could talk about. Choose was definitely attacked, but why is let's say Choose was on welfare. Let's say she was on welfare. What does that have to do with y'all be raising money for people talking about they can't make it every 5 minutes? So what's the difference?
Exactly. Exactly. And even with that, it's just stupid. And that's why I ignore most of it because it's dumb. Because it's like, okay, so a whole bunch of y'all would love to donate money. And I don't, like me, I don't care. I'm always worried about the people. So that's why I have a 501c3. Hello, you donate to me if you're a working person, even if you're not. Hey, you can file your taxes and get that money back, whether you donated $2 to me or 250 or 200,000. It I have to report everything to the IRS. So why, if I'm on welfare or not, what does it matter? I mean, I'm not, but if I was, what? Okay, and what else? What else? And then, oh, she live in Minnesota. Okay, really? I bet you won't come here. And that's on some real stuff. Try that in my town. Since you want to talk about where I live, you or married, try that in my town. Try it in my town because we don't roll like that. You see, that's the difference between me and people that just want to talk out of a need, which that person's need is approval and power. So I bet.
You're right. Sorry. Um, sorry, that was my TikTok. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, based on behavior profiling and behavior analysis, man, I done read everybody. So what you gonna embarrass me with? Yeah, I was on welfare, paid it back, and don't and not saying that in a um in a boastful way. I'm saying it as in a grateful way. God get blessed me to be able to pay back so that the next person can get help.
But
Like
maybe you
you're
wouldn't have ever
it's
needed
weird.
welfare if Frank Zuccarelli would have came to the other neighborhoods. I'm just saying. But go ahead.
And speaking about Frank Zuccarelli, and I have also said that in my youth, we didn't even know Frank Zuccarelli had food boxes. So as the food got low, we little kids was like really trying to like steal like not little so like meat, like chicken, potatoes. That's the kind of stuff I'm trying to steal. And then we found about food boxes. So everybody can miss me with the food boxes. That just lets me know everybody can miss me with all of that, because it just lets me know that half the people that talking does not understand the community that they're dealing with, and the people that are there. Like, don't get me started. I know somebody emailed me. It was like, your mother had problems. Nah, I'm gonna take it as they was talking about my mother, because she did have problems. But do y'all really want to discuss the problems that my mother had? Because if we discuss the problems that my mother had, we're gonna have to bring up one of them trustees. Stop playing. Just focus on the residents. Do what y'all need to do. Y'all got people y'all need to apologize to. I'm talking to the elected officials, and I'm not one of them people, but you got people that you need to apologize to, and two of them that I know of for sure. Three, I think, but two I know for sure. No, four I know, and three I'm just gonna say out loud. Mama Hill, Burgundy Blue, and Justice. Y'all owe Justice an
Justice for
apology.
sure. The way
Y'all owe
they,
Justice.
why did Daddy never got any of that slack?
I'm sorry, I went off on a tangent, the soapbox again. I'm so sorry.
No, you good. No, I'm just wondering. Y'all never gave Justice Daddy any of that slack.
None
That's
of it.
interesting. Nothing.
None of it.
It's all Tiffany fault. She don't have a. What do he be having his baby?
Oh, and then talked about her. That's the thing. Talked about her pawning her baby off when she got a whole baby daddy that is supposed to be, this responsible, great person. Hello, I ain't nobody seen him since the whole child support thing, which is how she got on the news in the first place. Come on now,
No. And
that's the whole thing. On she in the news with blah blah blah. I'm not taking. I ain't holding nobody's hand and taking y'all back in time, because if people don't want to look at history, then that's why you don't understand the present, and that's why we're where we are now, and that's why I don't know what this debt-free stuff is, unless the Chicago done said we forgive all of these debts,
yes,
and
all the
that's just the
water is
water bill.
y'all's. Hmm.
Then guess what? Receivership, and don't none of y'all matter, and not you. I'm talking about the elected officials. Don't receivership. The trustees ain't got no power, and the mayor will really just be a face. That's what y'all facing. But go ahead and let them keep y'all in delusion while they let their own constituents, be put in all kind of danger while they act like they care.
I agree, and I wanna play this video. And I'm only playing this video for the YouTubers that cover Dalton, and they cover every video is about Tiffany. I'm not telling you that that's good. That's your prerogative. You see things differently. This is your content. I agree. This happened in Dalton, Illinois under Jason House leadership, and it has garnered over 200,000 views on the original video on TikTok, and no one's talking about this. And I just want to play it real quick, and I want to know if this was under Tiffany leadership, what would have happened? Okay. Okay, what's happening? This at Thornridge High School. What is that? What is that? Are those children?
Those are children.
Are those children? Now
Look
let's
like
hear what
children.
those are. And now wait a minute. I want to put you guys in the mind. Grace Levi, are you listening? In the mind of Dalton. If you don't know where this is a half a block from where Alexis Wilson life was taken at Baba's. Baba's is a half a block away from Thornridge High School. Okay, so this is very important because isn't this a Dalton police officer? No one covered this at all on the internet. Everyone's quiet, swept under the rug. Just one more time. And here you got Lil Burgundy in Dalton who's scared to cover something like this because I have to be here. But let's do it. Let's watch it together.
In the S80, what the hell? How you going drugs and I'ma still make it? What the hell? Send us straight to hell. Nigga come playing. What the hell? How that boy his life? BC gon' take it. What the hell? This a new Chevelle.
fuck is we finna get a break, y'all? They is out here wilding again in Illinois once again. Okay, they out here pointing guns at the motherfucking kids now, y'all. I know I ain't fucking tripping, G. Like I'm going through my For You page and it just got posted. Like these kids getting out of school, the motherfuckers is upping a gun on kids, G. Like no kids got no guns in their hands. Niggas ain't shooting. They not doing nothing. Like the police officer is just straight fucking snapping. Like the bitch that lost her mind. Like it's nothing but teenagers outside. This kid's just standing there, other kids walking away, and she walking up to them up in the gun with one hand, like she a motherfucking killer on the street. ABC, NBC, the news, darn police. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Where y'all get these street niggas on the force farm? I'm just saying, like, I can't, it couldn't be my children. You feel what I'm saying? I got kids in high school. I don't play this type of game. So I'm reposting for all the parents out there. Y'all need to repost, share. Who was this bitch? Who was this up in the gun? Like she killing niggas like she in a war with some gangsters on the street, like somebody that ran up in her house, like somebody that shot at her mama. Like, ain't none of this, these is kids.
These are the kids after school. Now, I understand teenagers get rowdy, but didn't we just settle about 4 or 5 lawsuits about Dolton police being irresponsible like that? And let me be clear, it's some great police officers on the force. It really are. It really is. That been there for years that don't want anything to do with this. But I have to be the one to say it. If I don't say something here, who is going to say something?
Nobody. You know why? Because it's not Tiffany anymore. If it was Tiffany, these would have been some of her goons. That one lady would have been one of Tiffany's goons. But, you know, what I also find really even more disturbing is Mary Avance going up to the podium to talk about a robbery, which as she talks about it, clearly it affects her because her insurance and something. And what do we do when Tiffany already answered that question last year? So that's Mary. You were Tiffany told you, but that part aside, you are since ain't started your official duties yet, but Kiana is on the police committee, which should have been going, so I'm not understanding why we asking these questions. But that just goes to show how disconnected the very people that want the power are. Mary is so disconnected from her own community that she don't know it's been a whole bunch of murders since just Easter. Okay? It's been a whole bunch of murders
Easter.
since Easter. And she talking about a robbery that her insurance freaking covered. You
I
can't
don't
make
even
this.
think it was a robbery. Wasn't it something about it was a drunk person? Was it even
Oh,
did the robbery even happen?
and some about a robbery too. It
Oh,
was a
okay. And
drunk
that's when she said
driver,
her. Okay, I got
and
you.
she mentioned the robbery, but she ain't mentioned nobody dying. So there you go. Welcome to your new administration.
Oh, mic drop. Somebody put the mic drops. Put the mics in the chat for choose. I didn't even think about that. So I will be at that podium to
Nothing.
ask.
Nothing. Ain't nobody got nothing to say. Jason ain't had nothing to say. Y'all, right now, I'm sorry, cause
No,
this is
go,
I'm
go, go.
I'm gonna be quiet after this for a minute as long as I can. But as of right now, y'all rerunning videos of the inauguration. That's lame. People are dying. Y'all running videos of
Like
yourselves
these kids is we finna get a break.
Nigga come play.
on the inauguration, rerunning videos. I like how y'all took that divine plan out. You welcome, Ed Steve, because you know I was going to say something about y'all and that divine plan, and it turned into clerk he petitioned to power, and they took off the divine. However, y'all got the, man, not y'all rerunning the inauguration, and people are dying, and you got young people like young Will who is just a young person covering, I can't even say the youth because it is the youth. So it's kids, but it's grown people now. It's people that grew up, people in their 20s and 30s. But Jason, you ain't got nothing to say as the mayor. As the mayor, the first thing you wanted to do was relax, and it was just a murder on Easter. You need to stop letting Nikita talk for you. I don't have no respect. Like there is no respect to be given to people that, oh, we want to rest and we want to talk about this. You ain't done nothing with the flooding, the molding, but God dog it. People are losing lives. And Jason House, you ain't got nothing to say. But you could be in a liquor store. But you could be in a liquor store. Okay, I'm done.
Mm, I understand. And I'm looking at Young Will. Hold on, am I missing something? I hope this is me missing something. Let's go. Let's scroll, choose, because my eyes are not as good as they used to be.
Well, we getting older. We getting older.
Them Thornridge school lunches.
Man.
So I'm scrolling 2 weeks ago. Oh, here it is. Thank you. I thought that they had made him take it down. Okay, so if you go to Young Will's video right here, and you guys, I'm not subscribed. I should have been subscribed. They might have been taken. If you go to Young Will right here, it says right here, right in your face. Um, Chicago documentary, Lil 30 story, father killed in Dolton. Okay, it's right there
Mm-hmm.
on Easter. Watch the video. See those people pain. This is
Right.
something we need to talk about. So I am going to ask what happened with this incident at Thornridge, which is this is scary. The and it's more to this video, you guys. They had no control. I don't know. Back in the day, we used to have deans and stuff like that. Deans weren't out there. Principals were nobody was out there but the police.
Man,
And
and let me. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
Uh, shout out, shout out, Lacey, Lewis Lacey. I apologize because I thought you was bad messing with me because I had zero period. But at least you ain't never up no weapon on me. Like, you just had a little slick talk. So I'm gonna have to take that was I guess I was just in my teenage feelings because shout out Lieutenant Lacey for never pointing no dang on gun, taser, nothing at me. Just like where you supposed to be. I don't know what this is. And I remember them kids saying they've been following us ever since we got out of school. They following us here, telling us to move around, and they just got out of school. So I wanted to add that I heard that in that video too.
Wow. And what makes it weird is that Lacey is not the police chief while this is happening, nor is Tiffany the mayor. What do you huge YouTubers, investigators, all of that, what do you have to say about this?
Well, I don't know what they got to say, but what I got to say is it did y'all get the memo from Mary? Cause this ain't cool.
This ain't cool for nobody kid to have to go to a school which is like the highest paid. All these superintendents are getting paid so much money, and now this. Dang. Shoot, now
Trauma,
my work is calling. I'm going to
trauma.
play. I wanted to talk about this news situation. Um, let's go back to that because the whole basis was Shay. So let's get to the talking about how Shay is, because y'all, if y'all didn't know, it took us a minute. It took us a minute because so you might hear me and Choose venting because we always the quiet ones. Can't say nothing. If you say something, you look bad. No, we got to talk about this. Two people in Las Vegas killed our family. I mean, our prayers are with the family. But these are the exact steps that Shay lawsuit is fighting that does not happen, right? They don't want this to happen.
Exactly.
Shay is saying, do not allow this on YouTube. How many times did he contact support? They ignored it, left the harassing videos up of his wife, all kind of crazy stuff.
Exactly. And then so what if he would have been, you know what I'm saying? What if he would have not been in his right mind and been the one to be like, oh, you talk about my now I'm feeling. it's this lawsuit is for everyone, and it definitely now we, or at least I know that I can see, and it seems like you can see as well, that this can also potentially will potentially save lives. Like this will save lives because people don't need to be doing all this for social media, like it, and for people to be able to perpetuate it, that's what amps certain people up.
Exactly. When people can agitate the whole situation on and be like, "Oh yeah," and super chat more, get them. Like I saw Mary say, "Get them." I'm like, "Get what?" Or I saw the other day, I was in Ryan's chat from Ryan's Gay Chicago, and I saw Beth, who's active in the community, say that Ryan needs to be dealt with. And it's timestamp and it happened. I was just like, dealt with how? What does this mean? What did Ryan do to need to be dealt with? Um,
That's crazy. I don't know what he did that he needed to be dealt with.
dealt with what does
Gosh,
and what does dealt with mean?
that's
And
what I'm saying. Watch your words. Watch your
watch your
words.
words. So Shay having this lawsuit could have, if they, because he's been fighting this for a year. If he would have, no, more than a year. You guys correct me. Has Shay? I think he drove the air, drove to. Was it in April? I can't.
Yeah, but he, oh well, if you want, like, he fighting, he's been fighting these, the copyright stuff for more than a year now. We're up on a time where he was about to go to California and actually do the stuff. He's been fighting for over a year, like just the copyrights itself and all that.
Yeah, because when I'm looking at this, I'm like, when I'm seeing exactly what was happening, and both these gentlemen, thanks to you educating me on this, they didn't even have a ton of followers. That nobody had a YouTube plaque on their wall.
Yep, yep.
So
Yeah, yeah. I don't quote me because you know how once somebody lose their lives, it done went up to like 6,000. But at the time, one had like 4 or 5,000 followers, and the other one had like three. So what are we doing? Like, what? This is not a. It's just, yeah. It's not even. We're not even fighting over like big YouTube money. So what are we doing? What are we doing?
yeah, and it's like, and then don't forget these people are over 40.
That never it never fails to enter my mind with anyone. It's like, at what point do we mature and grow in our minds and our souls?
Yeah. Let's watch this news clip. This is very interesting. Let's see. And like I said, this whole thing is to show, like Shay's whole thing. You guys that are YouTubers and covering Dalton, do you care about us? One for yes, two for no. Do you care about us? Now the election is won. The evil monster Tiffany is gone, right? Are you watching what's happening, or or were you paid just to get Tiffany out of office? That's what I'm wondering, because this is crazy that all these things are sliding under the rug.
Hmm.
All right, let's go.
And the entire shooting was live. New at 10, a Valley couple was murdered on the Las Vegas Strip, and the entire shooting was live streamed on YouTube. It happened last Sunday night near the Bellagio fountains. 12 News journalist Gabriella Becerra is joining us in studio after speaking with their children. And Gabby, it was shocking to see this all over social media, and even worse, that appears it stemmed from a social media feud.
Well, that's what Las Vegas Metropolitan Police are telling us. They say the suspect and victim seemingly knew of each other and had previous conflicts over social media leading up to this shooting. And I want to warn you, some of the video we're about to show you may be hard to watch. One in the same.
They were literally soulmates.
Is how Rodney and Tanisha Finley's 4 children described their parents.
They were beautiful. They were beautiful people.
Tanisha,
The life of the party,
always put her family first.
She was loving. She was caring. She was always there for us.
And Rodney made every moment special.
He was just a funny guy that everybody loved, and he made a big impact wherever he went.
The Finleys loved Las Vegas, which became like a second home for the couple, even documenting their travels on YouTube.
This weekend was actually supposed to be a birthday trip for my dad.
But their celebration was cut short by an act of violence. The couple was live streaming on social media near the Bellagio fountain Sunday night when another YouTuber allegedly pulled out a gun and fired several times.
Our officers rendered medical aid to both victims, but their efforts to save those victims' lives were unsuccessful.
Las Vegas Metropolitan Police say 41-year-old Manuel Ruiz initially ran off, but turned himself in the following day. He's facing 2 counts of open murder with a deadly weapon. According to reporting by the NBC affiliate in Las Vegas, Ruiz is being held without bail after allegedly telling detectives he fired in self-defense, believing the couple was armed. But police say no guns were found or seen in the video posted online.
One of the last messages I had from my mom was that she was going to be coming home tomorrow, and that she would see me tomorrow.
The Finleys left a lasting impact on their online community.
He was a legend.
And will leave an even bigger hole in the hearts of their large, loving family.
They were just 2 beautiful people. I just want them to be never forgotten.
A GoFundMe page was created to help this family pay for funeral expenses. We have a link to that on 12news.com.
I want to say something about this. First of all, so sad. But let me tell you this. People clock, those same evil people clocking this GoFundMe page, probably trying to see how much they got. You know, this is what makes Shay's suit so important. If this was put into place, those videos of harassment would have been taken down already. But YouTube makes money off of us.
Absolutely.
And now you see, let's get to the next video. I just can't believe this is happening, and I just keep on bringing up Shay because I know he didn't think something this serious. Well, maybe he did, but this is me speaking. Just this serious would be happening. But y'all threatened to go to that man's house, cross state lines for what? He brought food, gave gift cards, money, and t-shirts to people in Dolton. He is the only YouTuber to give money to the people in Dolton. Not Free Indeed, not the trustees, the people in Dolton. Shay is the only YouTuber to have done that.
Exactly. And, you know, I think I do remember one of his late night streams where he did say, like, y'all gonna get somebody killed. And thankfully, I don't like to say that, but thankfully it wasn't in Dolton, but still, the y'all somewhere on social media did get somebody killed. So he did kind of really speak on it. It was just we were talking about Dolton at the time. But look, what he said has happened.
What he says has happened. This man is in his car. If you guys didn't know, the killer, he's in his car saying, I've been to every casino. I'm looking for he sought them out.
Sure did. And was on social media saying it. Kind of the same way as those 2 said to Shay. Like, it's bone chilling. It's bone chilling.
It is, because I'm just thinking about Shay, and I haven't spoken to him at all. This is just it's chilling because I can remember everything, and I can remember him. Now, Shay, I will say this. I would talk to him and he would be telling me it's going to be okay, because I felt like I would never get over this. Not because of what was happening. I don't. Let me tell you, if you from here, somebody, it's somebody that said it best. When you leave from here, they hate you. If you're doing anything different than them, they hate you. So that part was very normal. I don't. You lived here, choose. It's the
Yeah, well, this is one of the main reasons why this makes me, just the whole hate train part of it. This is why it makes me angry, because it really and truly reminds me of high school. It reminds me of Thornton High School.
Mhm.
It reminds me of Thorn Ridge High School. It's like, if you think different, say different. You ain't part of the group. People gonna talk about you. They gonna lie on you bad. Just it, the level of what I went through in high school, which was now is just stupid, but it's like the level of lies that people just tell. It Anytime I go back and I just listen to the what's coming out of these people's mouths, and then now that I am an adult with some training, can kind of see behind that, and then I'm also a soul in a human body, so I can, kind of discern where people are coming from. It feels like high school, and it's very disturbing that people have no growth. I'm not seeing growth from 30 years ago. It's, even just as simple as people going up to the podium where there's a microphone, a poorly, you know, put together microphone, but you're yelling, and we raise our voices. It's just, we're increasing the level of violence. But again, back to Shay. So Shay comes back, and, now it's just Mary. He got a problem. Not he. Mary got a problem with him. People got a problem with him. Why? Why? Why to the level that you feel like you want to get tickets? Like, some people are really, we just never know what people are going through. And again, that's why I go back to, everybody has something going on in their brain. And if you're ever in a state of mind, which I have been in this state of mind before, so to be totally transparent, if you've ever been in a space where you don't care about your own life, why would you care about the next person's? I've been that depressed where
Mm.
I didn't want to do anything to anyone, but it's like, I'm so depressed. I don't care about myself. So I really don't, whatever happens around me is just what the heck happens. So we have to be very careful of people who have have not grown from things like that. And I'm so grateful to God that I have grown from that kind of thinking. I've grown from all that kind of just weird stuff. Just just reverting to violence or pity or anger. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. But yeah, when we have shown in our lives that we don't have regard for our own life, then yeah, you should be very concerned.
New at 10, a Valley.
Oh, I thought we were gonna play a video. So anyway, but yeah, no, you should be very concerned. And I just, I really feel like this all of this was uncalled for, and I'm so
Mhm.
glad that Shay has. I'm so glad that he followed through with this lawsuit. I really am.
This lawsuit, let me tell you something. And I'm sorry, I was talking the whole time and was muted. But I was saying, when you were speaking of when you don't care about yourself, how can you care about anyone else? I was right there. I didn't care about anybody last May. I was just last May. Yeah, last May. I was just like, I am done. I can't believe this is what humanity is. What is happening? And I'm so proud of Shay, like you said. Like, for him to go through with this lawsuit is absolutely, if they would have approved it and stopped trying to threaten him, like I mean, like, not in a bad way, but threaten him like he couldn't handle this could have, if they would have went ahead and looked at the stipulations, this could have saved these people lives, because it would have been no able to stream just to harass someone 24/7. It wouldn't have been available.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
Oh my God. I have a celebrity in the building.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Don. Don Vision. I have to say this. Don, don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me, but you know what I want to say, so I'm not going to say it. But hi to my little friend. Let's bring up Gardis. Hey, Gardis. Welcome.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. How
Yes.
are you today?
Ladies, how's it going?
Hi, it's going great. How are you?
How are you, Gardis? Like, newly, like a couple of weeks in, how do you feel with your new degree? Has anything changed yet?
No, not really.
Uh-oh, we lost Gardis. We lost him. He might have dropped. He was on his phone, so he might have dropped. Just was wondering, Gardis had got his degree, and we all congratulated him, his new degree on top of a degree. And just to think, he went to the same school Pope Leo went to. Crazy. Just crazy. But while we wait for Gardis, Douglas said, I'm proud of you, Gardis.
We
Don,
are.
I shush my little friend. But you guys, Shay doing this lawsuit is so important. And if he would have passed, I hope other people cover this story, because I don't know. I know Choose is speaking eloquently on this, but I did read it, and I know that Philly Phil read it as well. And the people that don't have the time to read all the pages, I am mentioning that lawsuit. I do not mind at all, because he took the time to make sure that he spoke on my harassment as well. He didn't have to do that. His lawsuit could have stood on its own.
Yep. Yep. And, for those of how, okay, like my favorite thing is writing anyway. So, I broke that down the best I could for people to understand. It's one of the posts if you get my post on my wall, I think I would call it Shay's lawsuit for regular people who don't understand how to read lawsuits.
Yeah, because I need that post. Send it to me, because it's very important that he sat up there and fought for, not just, like you said, not just himself. Okay, let me say this, Choose. Just think if I was going through Jedediah Brown calling me funky coochie. I'm gonna make you penniless. I'm gonna make your, now remember, my mama done died. I'm gonna make your mama penniless. Just think if I was 18 years old and not a person of the world, how I would have handled that. Anything could have happened. I could have wanted to off myself. Anything. Because of how much damaging, and then having the entire Dolton politics where you grew up chiming in, talking about you where you grew up. Like, and these are from people that don't even live close by. Yet Andrew Holmes can walk around every day, clear and free as a bird, get his Starbucks. Y'all don't got no heat for him. Okay, then let's
Every
just say,
day now.
every day now. Yeah, every day now. And let's just say he hasn't.
Who went to the podium to scream at him?
Well, I think that last one was kind of staged. It was like, well, I want you to step down. You guys know Jason can ask right now. What Jason say? You got any comment? He sounded like Michael Jackson. You got a comment? Any comment? No.
Exactly.
Okay. Because they know why y'all didn't wear army fatigue then. Tiffany gone. I thought Tiffany was protecting Andrew. Why y'all ain't wearing army fatigue today?
That's why I said all these smoke and mirrors, done with it. One, and then again, uh, clerk, if you're gonna have them minutes, I want to see how they match up with mine. Tiffany asked you to do it word for word. I didn't do it word for word, but I did a transcript. You could do that.
Yeah. I want to read this post. It says, I see people talking without understanding of how the following case is a game changer for all. Now, this was 11 days ago. For all creators, even those that want to see failure and have tried to cause chaos and destruction. There is no failure where God's children live, which is in the spirit. Imagine criticizing someone who, if they win, you win. If they lose, you lose more of your freedom over your own content. People will really cut their own noses to spite their face. Okay? Let me tell you something. That right there, that right there, hold on, let me put this link in the chat. That right there is a mouthful because if this lawsuit, if this law, and I'll let Choose finish in her voice because I'm trying to do her audio book in my voice. I'll let Choose finish reading. Let me put this post up here. You feel like it, Choose? If you don't, it's okay. I just put the link in the chat.
Yeah, no problem. Go ahead. Put it. I'll read it.
Okay, this is very interesting. Wait, because I didn't know if it was super. Okay, go ahead. You're good. Imagine you at the imagine part. Oh, hold on. Let me share it. Let me share it one more time for y'all to read. This is interesting. If Shay would have won, I'm gonna say this. This is me saying that if he would have won this case, we would not be in this position. Go ahead, choose.
Well, I said, imagine criticizing someone who, if they win, you win. If they lose, you lose more of your freedom over your own content. People will really cut off their noses to spite their face. Let me see if I can understand purely from a purely legal perspective. In the case of Deshay Hall versus YouTube LLC, the focus remains on significant issues surrounding content creation, intellectual property rights, and the responsibilities of digital platforms. Here's a more accurate and detailed overview of the case. So, here's a background in like one sentence. Deshay Hall, a social media and content creator, um, hold up. It went up for me. Okay. A social media influence and content creator claimed that YouTube failed to adequately protect his original content from unauthorized use. Number two, the legal issues. It's copyright infringement. Isn't that why two people just lost their lives? Okay, I'll continue. Hall's lawsuit primarily revolves around the claim that YouTube did not act sufficiently to protect his copyrights. Under the U.S. Copyright Act, which I looked up, content creators have exclusive rights to their original work, and unauthorized reproduction or distribution can constitute infringement. Platform liability. So, basically the liability for YouTube. The platform liability, I wrote, the case raises important questions about the extent to which platforms like YouTube are liable for the actions of their users. The Communications Decency Act, specifically Section 230, which I read when I joined YouTube, and I know Shay done tried to educate y'all on that, but here's for dummies. It provides some immunity to platforms for liability for content created by users. However, the case could challenge that protection if it demonstrates that YouTube failed to take the appropriate action against infringing content. If you want me to break that down a little bit, basically, if he proved what he said they didn't do. So that's a real breakdown. What are the implications of this? Influencer rights. When, I should have wrote, Hall prevails, it could set a precedent for greater protections for content creators and influencers regarding their rights and the obligations of platforms to monitor and enforce copyright. The platform responsibilities. This outcome could influence how platforms manage user generated content and their policies regarding copyright claims, potentially leading to more stringent measures to protect creators' rights. So, in conclusion, the Shay Hall case is significant not only for the parties involved, but also for its potential impact on the broader landscape of online content creation and platform liability. That's everybody. As the legal environment for digital content continues to evolve, cases like this will shape how copyright laws are interpreted and enforced in the context of social media and online platforms.
Amen. And thank you so much for breaking that down because Don said clerk compassion. I'm sorry. Let's bring up Gardis Watts. Hey Gardis, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, y'all lost me?
Yeah, we lost you. Were you talking? Cause you just dropped off into the atmosphere.
Oh wow. Okay, so y'all didn't hear anything I said, huh?
You were talking.
Okay, where did I leave off at?
You didn't say anything, but hey y'all, how are you?
Okay, my apologies. I thought I was on the show and I'm sitting up here talking. And next
I
thing you
know it
know,
was good. Yeah.
on the text, I was like, wait a minute, what happened?
It says StreamYard. StreamYard is a mess. You have a lot of congratulations coming through the chat for your new degree. And yeah,
Okay.
we'll let you
You,
go. And Choose is here with us. We'll let you go.
okay, so I wanted to talk about, because like we're talking about this case in Las Vegas of a couple getting, murdered and I was thinking about the power of social media and how social media since its inception has caused, you know, I mean, social media is a good medium to get information out, but it has also ruined and actually ended millions of lives of people. And I thought about a case that happened about eight to 10 years ago. There was a country. There's a country in Southeast Asia that's south of China called Myanmar. Myanmar is spelled Myanmar. I think that's what it is. So Myanmar is a predominantly Buddhist country, but they have like a small population of Muslims that live in Myanmar. Well, apparently there was a genocide that happened with those Muslims that happened in Myanmar, and there was propaganda that populated in that country about the Muslims in Myanmar, how they were criminals, how they were rapists, how Islam is a it's a false religion, and all kind of stuff was propagated about the Muslims in Myanmar. Well, apparently millions of them were slaughtered. They were ran out of their homes, ran out of the country. I think Bangladesh was one of the countries that took a lot of the refugees. And so when the United Nations did an investigation on the genocide, they found that Facebook propagated a lot of that false information about the Muslims. And it's a very interesting story when you think about how Facebook initiated a lot of the false narratives of those people who were literally slaughtered. I'm talking about including women and children. And how powerful social media is for people to just believe that these, that these groups of people can be, what they say they are, just because they read a social media post. And so now Myanmar bans Facebook. Like, Facebook is not allowed in Myanmar. And I was thinking about a second case when it comes around about the same time in the country of Turkey, which is kind of like, south of Eastern Europe. Turkey, about around about the same time, was under a coup because the military tried to overthrow their president, which was President Erdogan. Erdogan is not a favorite person of the United States, and many people think that the United States was behind that coup. So one of the military generals basically tried to overthrow the government and tried to kick Erdogan out of his seat. Well, apparently the coup had failed, and what they found out in that investigation was the means of information that was transported amongst the coup plotters was YouTube. YouTube was the means to try to gather up support for the anti-Erdogan group. And I know about this because I took a trip to Turkey in 2019, and I couldn't get on Facebook. I mean, not Facebook. I couldn't get on YouTube. Well, find out that the person was telling me was about what happened a couple of years before that, about the coup attempt, and how YouTube was the catalyst of getting information to the coup plotters and to the people who were a part of the coup. So I say this because, like I said, social media, which is not really regulated to a point where, if somebody's lives are being, endangered, there's really no way to kind of like regulate that. The only way you could do it, like in the case of Myanmar or even Turkey, is to completely shut down those particular applications. And I think about that because so many people get information off of, social media and basically off the internet in general. And the problem is that we don't have enough critical analysis and critical thinking to take certain information and to make sure that this information is valid, that this information is true, and we just run with this information and basically think that it's gospel. Berg, you know this. There were people in this whole Dolton situation who believed that I was a Tiffany supporter.
I do know that.
And people was running with this information. And then there was one person who literally said that they thought they saw a video of me supporting and praising Tiffany.
Yep, I remember.
And I asked them, you pull up that video for me, and I would, because I was like, please show that video of me supporting Tiffany.
Show that video because you're not gonna find it.
Because I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like, because they were told that I was a Tiffany supporter, which is absolutely absurd. You know how I feel about that woman.
Oh, I know. I know.
So, that being said, even, like now with the advent of AI, because, me, I've been following, this whole situation with the Pope and like this uniqueness of the Pope because of the fact that he's American, and the first American to be elected the Pope. But there have been a lot of like sayings and attributions to what he said, and there was literally an AI video of him praising. There was a video of him praising the president of Burkina Faso. I forgot that gentleman's name, But what was so interesting about it was he never said any of those words. But what they did was they took a video of him. They took a video of him addressing the press, and they basically dub an English audio of him praising the African president of Burkina Faso. But the thing was that people thought that he was saying something else. And matter of fact, whenever he does his addresses are in Latin. This was in English. And so this is I mean, the way AI is now, you never know who said what and how, how they said it, because now information has to be vetted. Like videos have to be vetted. Because many people thought that video proof was basically, the end all be all. But now we have to vet video proof. So Ibrahim Traore is the president of Burkina Faso. And what's so funny is Ibrahim Traore is now being AI'd because there have been speeches attributed to him that he never said. Because those speeches, first of all, are in English. Ibrahim Traore's native language is French. So we have to it's so fascinating the way AI is basically leading people's thoughts and actions into something that isn't even true. So
Exactly.
we have to be very careful about some of this information that we get out here. And what's so bad about it is nobody's vetting it. Nobody's reading books. Nobody's, reading several sources to kind of just verify the information. Research is basically dead because of the fact that everybody is getting their research off of a social media post or a Facebook post or even a YouTube video. And nobody's vetting this information. So I just wanted to bring that up because, the bullying is bad, and it literally kills people's lives. But this misinformation is a bigger picture and a bigger issue that we have to face because of the fact that, we're so dumbfounded about whatever we see on social media because of the sensationalism of whatever we see. So I just wanted to bring that in.
Well, I definitely agree with that. And then to add to it, then, you have social media that's designed for short-term thinking. So you see this and you lock that in your brain. Now it's scroll to the next thing, scroll to the next thing. And so I think that contributes to, us not using our critical thinking skills. I think AI is, it's really, I don't want to say headed for a dangerous place. It's already in a dangerous place. I've seen AI people like I've seen Morgan Freeman talking, and it's not Morgan Freeman. So it's dangerous. It is so dangerous. And then, like I said, it's designed to scroll to the next thing, scroll to the next thing. So no, it's just we're not taking the time to think. We're not taking the time to research things ourselves. We're not taking the time to open up a book. It's just what people said.
Yeah, and we got to be careful about what we say and what we post, especially if, because what's so funny is there are young people who are aspiring to be influencers, not doctors, not lawyers, not even plumbers or electricians. They want to be influencers.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Because, I mean, hey, if you got a big enough audience, you can make a lot of money off of social media.
Yeah.
But the problem is that because of the fact that social media is so open right now, you have that opportunity. But then what happens if they flick that switch and turn off your social media account? That right there is For me, I think it's dangerous to aspire to that as a profession.
Very
Like you should.
dangerous because I hear the same thing, you know. And I'm not a teacher, but, you know, I work with children. And that is the number one thing that I hear when I say, what do you want to be when you grow up? What are you interested in? I want to be an influencer. That is the number one job that these children are saying now. So, what does that say about what's going on with the world? It's horrible, but I've heard exactly the same thing.
Yeah, and to convey information is one thing, and being being on YouTube is there's nothing wrong with being on YouTube, but if
Mm.
you use it as a platform to have people doxxed, have people hurt,
Yeah.
um, it's not something that that people should be doing. Now, should it be regulated? Yes, it should be regulated. But then there's also the factor of freedom of speech, because
Mhm.
they would use that as a crutch, but also use that as an excuse uh, for illicit behavior.
Yep.
And there's a thin line when you're talking about freedom of speech, because many people uh, who used to dox and who used to say all kind of crass and tacky things, they always say, well, I got freedom of speech. But
Mhm.
my problem is your speech, I mean, does it border hate speech? Because we all know the definition of hate speech,
Mhm.
because
Exactly.
that is an illegal thing to do. um, but if it results in violence, then that's not freedom of speech. That's basically, what many people legally would term as hate speech. So, for my money's worth, it's it's not worth it to
Mhm.
sit there and just attack people all day, just so they can get views, get likes, get clicks, because that's what mostly it's for. Uh,
Mhm.
and they'll cover it as, we ain't here to collect money or anything. We're here to fight for the people. That's what they'll try to tell you. So
Yes.
for me, I think, um, if you do come up with a YouTube channel, think hard and heavy what your topics are, and also too, what do you want to talk about? How do you want to talk about it? And if it conveys information that helps people, because I think too many people, especially in the Dalton situation, just use YouTube to just hurt folks. And I let me tell you something. There were several people who told me, you need to start a YouTube channel because you'll get 1,000 views in a minute.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
for me, and for my money's worth, I'm not starting no YouTube channel off the back of somebody that I don't like.
Exactly. 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 Which
What
is
does
what
that?
a lot of
I
people
mean,
do.
yeah. What does that make me look like? That make me look like I am. I mean, no, I'm not doing that.
Exactly.
If I'm gonna start a YouTube channel, I'm gonna start it right, and
Exactly.
I'm going to bring out content that is informative,
Mhm.
that helps and hopefully inspires folks to pass on the information, to do research, and to have some sort of critical thinking. I'm not doing this for propaganda piece.
You know, that goes back for me to a lot of what I tell the children I work with when who want to be an influencer. You know, I'm like, well, okay, what do you want to talk about? And then I kind of use that to go into a career path. And then if you want to use this to, you know, like talk about your educate people on that. So I'm so glad that you said that, because that makes me feel like I am at least giving some good advice to the children that want to be influencers. It's like, what do you want to be? How do you know before? What are you going to talk about? What is your passion in life? Okay, maybe it's not college, maybe it's a trade school, and then you can show people how to build houses. So, yeah, thank you for stating that. About if you start a YouTube, is it informative and is it giving education? Is it adding value? That just gave me a little inspiration. So I just wanted to say that. Thank you.
Yeah. So I have to go into the bushes because I got to get ready for this meeting that I that I have to have in 20 minutes.
Oh,
Okay.
goodness.
Well, it's a real treat, and thank you, Gardis, for chatting with us today. It's gonna be a real treat to see the next slide. So go ahead in the bushes, and we appreciate you.
All right. See you
Thank
ladies later.
All right, bye. So you guys, we have breaking news. Thanks to God, not thanks to God, but thank you to Gardis Watts and Choose Compassion for being so eloquent and educational. But now here comes the juiciness from Burgundy Blue. Now this is where what is this? Napoleon name is on the food box?
Oh,
The new Thornton
oh.
Township food box. I have to say the boxes were nicely packed with meat, milk, bread, goodies, fresh fruit, and vegetables, canned goods, and medical items. Mm, so Napoleon name can go on there. I thought they were gonna put. I thought it was an image ordinance. Oh no, we rescinded
No,
the
they
image
they
ordinance.
rescinded it. They rescinded it so that they can put the name on it.
Well, LeBron, that's how do y'all feel about this? Y'all let me know in the comments. Now, now it's not a Tiffany Henyard food box. It's a Napoleon Harris the third food box with big old supervisor on it. And okay, all right. How
This
y'all feel
is.
about
I'm
that?
sorry. I'm sorry that I am quite. I just. I'm not. I'm not shocked. I'm just. I'm ready to hear from all of the people who said, "Why her name gotta be on the box?" And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's I am not shocked. I knew that the rescinding of that would was so that his name could not only go on food boxes, but everything that has been on things since Frank Zuccarelli. So what good did that do to control anything, to control spending? Because you could have kept these letters off, ordered a brown box, and you probably would have saved some money. And not canned goods. Ugh, ew, Tiffany would never.
Tiffany was like, "No, I'm not giving y'all that." Now, let's just go down memory lane. So we closed out the portion with Shay, and I will be back with a part two about Shay because I just think it's important. And Shay, we love you and kudos to you for fighting for what's right. Um, let's just go to the website when you go to the food pantry. Okay, so let me just share what they do have up here. And then in the words of Thelma Price, baby, they used you. They used you. That was one of the best
Yeah.
scenes. We just walk around my house someday. We'd be like, baby, they used you. We'd be like, we ain't got no more ketchup. They used you. Baby, they used you.
My other one, I don't when people in trouble,
Mhm.
it could be little trouble. I'll be like, y'all going to jail.
I swear, I swear, she had the best sound bites where you can. I'm like, it don't matter. I'd be like, y'all, wait a minute, it's no more chicken left. They used you. Okay, so look at the boxes they have up here on the Thornton Township website,
Oh, look, then I see those are nice boxes.
and they could have been right, but these are the boxes that they got out.
Wait a minute. What's the bait and switch? Hold on, hold up. Which one is correct then? They got brown box. Never mind. I cannot. I cannot. I cannot with this one.
Isn't
Who?
this interesting? So what do y'all think? YouTubers, Tiffany has to put her name on everything. We have to stop Tiffany from putting her name on everything. We have to stop Christmas and Thanksgiving food giveaway because Tiffany name is on there. She's spending all the money putting her name on stuff. Where are y'all at, YouTubers?
Why is letters so big? Did that cost extra?
And then they got the colors. I thought that was the whole thing. They said no colors. They didn't want any colors on it because the colors cost more.
Oh my
So
gosh.
let's see if we have.
What's with the purple? Vikings don't claim you, bro.
Now let's
Sorry.
go to
Vikings don't claim you. Take that purple out of there. Make it all green. I don't see no purple on the Thornton Township logo on the website. Get that purple out. Yeah, Vikings do not claim you. Do you really want me to go to the Met? You want me to go to? You want me to go over there to U.S. Bank Field right now and ask?
now. Oh,
Take that purple
you
out
are
there.
around the corner. So let's talk about so we can get a clear understanding because we're all about transparency over here on Burgundy Blue Commentary. Let's go to Ryan's Gate, Chicago, where he spoke with one of the newly elected trustees, and they were able to tell us what rescinding the image ordinance meant. So this is going to be very educational for you guys. Let's go.
How many times we
And
gotta
then what you spoke
explain?
to us about what was the personal rescission of the ordinance of?
That means you cannot use township funds and running for something else personally. You know,
This
Tiffany
one.
had her name on everything.
Yeah, I was
You
confused.
can't do that.
Oh, see, I was confused. I thought rescinding it was saying that you guys could use.
The ordinance was that she was doing it. We're stopping that.
Oh, okay.
She was in the ordinance to do it. We're not going to do it. It
Most people thought you were repealing that. Yeah, that's perfect segue to.
So, in case you didn't hear clearly, she said, "You know how Tiffany been putting her name on everything? She created an ordinance to do that. We're not going to do that." See, the rescinding of the ordinance meant that we were not going to do that. We're not going to do that.
Dictionary.com. And first of all, dictionary.com, since probably nobody got regular dictionaries anymore. Um, and number two, you've been bamboozled, hoodwinked, and led astray if that's what you believed, Mary. Once again, why are you over social services?
So, does that mean this should mean you guys? Paul Roberts said, "Oh, I thought Ryan, you guys, that means these minutes should not be approved because we obviously have a trustee here that didn't know what they were voting for."
I mean, that's what it looks like to me. It looks like she had a totally different understanding of what rescind means. And if she did understand, did you lie? I mean, we got to, now they got to explain this some kind of way because y'all can't be bamboozling Mary. She was the advisor to the committee of the township and the whatever, all that. So y'all can't be bamboozling Mary now. Why y'all didn't give her the definition?
Of rescinding. And I just want to play it one more time because Choose, they'll say we was lying. They'll be like, they'll go right in down the pot. Burgundy and Choose, they lied on Mama Mary. No, let's play it one more time.
And then what you spoke to us about what was the personal rescission of the ordinance of?
That means you cannot use township funds and running for something else personally. You know,
This
Tiffany
one.
had her name on everything.
Yeah, I was
You
confused.
can't do that.
Oh, see, I was confused. I thought rescinding it was saying that you guys could use.
The ordinance was that she was doing it. We're stopping that.
Oh, okay.
She was in the ordinance to do it. We're not going to do it.
Most people thought you that, yeah, that's perfect segue to the next question. Can you guys put all the ordinances on the website?
Okay, she said we cannot do it now. Napoleon, get ready to get your checkbook out because she said they would not use township funds to do the food boxes. So let's see what the next warrant list says. Choose. Thanks for dealing with me today. Thank you so much. I was so upset today. So your soothing voice helped, and thanks, Gardis Watts, for being here.
Oh, no, thank you very much. Yes, Napoleon, we need to know how much that was, and we would like to see your check cleared for your name and that purple that does not. Can I just, because let me make this not personal with the Vikings, but it is making me mad, bro. Like, why? But I'm just going to say what, like, legally, that's not how the township logo looks. So why would you do that? But okay, thank you for bearing with me getting on my soapboxes. And until next time, I love you all. And I hope wish you a wonderful rest of everyone's day.
Thank you. We love you too, Choose. So yeah, here we go. Tiffany Henyard food box. Tiffany Henyard food box now with Napoleon Harris name on it. When we've been telling you the whole time, Zuccarelli name was on it. So what's the difference? Why you just didn't put Supervisor Napoleon Harris and the Board of Trustees? We also, just interesting. Let's see. And as we go out, yeah, it's the 17th. So we know we might have to ask that question, you guys. I picked up something. If I can be there on the 17th, I will try. But let's watch this one more time.
Can't do that. Oh, yeah, I was confused.
Police department, because what people don't realize, forensic audit doesn't just mean we're only reported in the whole township. You're looking at $500 to $1 million. So we've got to decide where to start. Okay. It is going to be done. We need it. So it's coming.
And then what you told us about what was the personal rescission of the ordinance of?
That means we cannot use township funds and running something else personally. Tiffany had her name on everything.
Yeah, I was
confused. Can't do that.
Oh, yeah, I was confused. I thought rescinding it was saying that you guys could use.
So that she was doing it. We're stopping that.
Oh, okay.
Napoleon, you in danger, girl. They trying to take this township from you. I'm sorry. It's a setup.
I got some clothes. I got some jewelry. The rest I got tied up in investments. I ain't got nothing else.
Commentary Blue Commentary Burgundy Commentary Comment Blue Commentary Burgundy Blue Commentary Blue Commentary Burgundy Commentary Commentary.